Welcome, replay viewers and fellow Hapsters. Yeah, I know Martin does it better, doesn't he? Damn, that man's good at something. I am plugging in the hot glue gun right now, and I am flying solo. So if anyone wants to come on in on something, whatever. If you are watching me from Facebook or any of the other pages or apps, please feel free to come over to Haps, HAPPS.TV. And as always on our profiles, we are Carhunger, Carrhunger. Ah, there's Jedi Senshi. Lovely, lovely, lovely lady. That was a great tour you and Martin did. That was awesome. Yeah, it's going to be weird for a while, folks. Yeah, just a little weird. Not anything immeasurably weird. I mean, wow. Second thought, I think we are immeasurably weird. But yes, that was awesome the other night. I am here to be able for you guys to ask questions and all of this stuff. I didn't get a chance to invite all the people who have already sent money. Um, I now have the other window in a weird spot, so I'm hoping you guys who are taking part in Remember Me come on over or come on in because I I would like to change the date for the Remember Me, mostly because Fan Expo, the convention who wants us to do panels, is having a hard time scheduling things. And I'd like to be able to open up that Sunday completely and just say to them, oh, hell with it, put us wherever before we actually lose the panels themselves because they're having a difficult time getting everyone in the schedule. And I might not even know till the day or two before. And if I only find out the day or two before, then I have to choose between the Remember Me and the panels. And quite frankly, Martin and I have been looking forward to doing panels for a long time. So, yeah, we can make some things work. Like back at Astro the one year, I did some panels. Well, that was clumsy of me. Thank God I missed my foot, and thank God I'm wearing shoes. Um, but yeah, so we did that at an Astro one year, and it worked. But at the same time, none of them was involving wings. From the sounds of this one, Fan Expo, both of them might be involving wings, depending on what the schedule they put in. So if you are right off the bat, if you are part of the Remember Me or you are considering contributing up to the $5 in awards, we would love to actually move it to the evening of the first, which actually is um, Day of the Dead. So please let us know. Do I really sound like that? Do you really sound like what? What? What did I say or do now that I shouldn't have? Damn it. I'm always in trouble. Can't I just be out of trouble for once? I mean, it would be nice. I don't have a monitor because I don't have Martin here with his device. I'd like to put some music on. And because this is attached to that, I have to use this, which I normally use as a monitor for music. Oof. On the broadcast last night, we sounded great. Did I say something I'm going to regret now? I think I saw. Did I say something I'm going to regret? I'm always saying things I'm going to regret. It's really. I annoy myself so much. Okay, flushing toilet sample is in copyright free samples. No, what? How is copyright free? Not the. How did the get in there? Why is it when you type things, it doesn't always come across as what it's supposed to? Because it does things, and things are things thing. Oh, that's why I didn't run. Oh, I can't. Right, I'll run the Remember Me video once we Okay, that's weird. I may have to change the date to the first. Okay, I'm not sure any of this stuff is in the mood. That's kind of cool, but it's only one track in a whole playlist. Oh my god, it's like a 70s, 80s flashback um, video games. Let's try this. I've never heard myself outside of a or when I talk. Well, it has a lot to do with I don't know. Was Martin using his hands free or did he leave his hands free off? Because you were really quiet, so I don't know if you were quiet or if he had his hands free on and therefore you were background noise. Now, before we make more of these crowns, these are gonna basically go up at full price and then get discounted right away because they're a bit of an experiment. There's aspects of this we don't like, including we need. I mean, we need oval, but we need oval that's a little smaller so that these touch. You know, they should be touching while they set, which I don't know how we're going to do with the extra on the mold, but we'll have to figure it out. And secondly, you can see it's off center. So I don't know. Maybe these do need to be a little round, but if they're round, they're smaller. So an experiment a little bit as to how we can work this to try to make it happen. Is that the older one? I think that's the older one. That's the newer one. It definitely feels more full. So first thing I'm going to do is try to close this one up. Yeah, a lot of people don't listen to themselves on or off broadcasts. Oh, why the whole thing? Oh, wow. Yeah, this is definitely the old one because the lid is seized to the nozzle. So I would love it. Anyone who is already put in their $5 worth or is aiming to do that, what do you guys think of moving it to November 1st? At the end of this broadcast, I will be um, I will be atting everyone. Atting is the magic word apparently. Not adding, but atting. Because I could have invited and added all you guys. So please share, share, share. Share with each other. I know it's an awkward time of day, but my brother wants to do this Thanksgiving dinner, and they're going to start eating without me anyway. So I'm coming in last to be able to get this done. Get it done. Done, 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 done. Kaka! Oh my god! Hi, Birdman. Haven't seen you around in a while. Is this like an ideal time for you? It's interesting. I posted the most recent cosplay um, for Halloween month at a really weird hour. I think it was like 2 o'clock last night or something. And I noticed like right away got a lot of likes and stuff and comments, but they were all from European countries and the other side of the globe. And I'm still not getting more likes or views than previously. However, you know what? Last time I was on here with you guys, I didn't have little pliers or anything, and I got so much glue all over my fingers. I'm not in the mood to do that today. Hey, look, Martin actually labeled everything. Woo! Okay, pliers. Pliers. I'm looking at all the teeny tiny ones. Okay. But yeah, so we where was I? Oh God, folks, my brain is everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Like, if anyone finds it, I would love to be informed. But yes, we got a lot of Europeans, and it seems there's a better time of day, especially during the week. But it's kind of frustrating because I want to post things so that everyone sees it. And if there's so many different time zones, kind of frustrating. Turkey? What do you mean turkey? Turk. Don't call me a turkey or a birdman. Birdman is not a turkey. He's a good guy as far as I can tell. No, I know what you're meaning. Here, let me get that the table shot in here too. No, that's not what I wanted. You silly haps. There we go. That looks weird with the white and the black thing. It looks like a cutoff or something. um, yes, apparently my brother will feed me, which right now with everything going on and being broke again. Damn artist. Brother's very opposite of me. He's one of those computer types, so he doesn't mind feeding me. So, yes, we're kind of taking day by day because we have no. I'm trying to get all the glue out of this because I hate waste. Hate wasting food. Hate wasting materials, and we're such a wasteful industry too. It's really crap. Are you having turkey? Yeah. See, I caught up. Yes, my apologies that the comments are off to the side, but I can't even with my glasses. I can't see those. I really need a new prescription so I can see the comments on that camera. But yeah, I can one second, one day at a time. So it's $5 worth of awards now. Um, and if we move it to November 1st, we'll have to ask you guys whether or not you want a story time at the end of November, or do we do a Christmas one? Basically, donate all the money for basically the whole month instead of percentage or instead of sponsorships for next month. We donate the whole amount, which means anything that's accumulated and any awards coming up to the Monarchs to remember me, and hmm, and basically move the story time to December. You get a clamp in here before it decides to give up. These clamps work great, but it's like the older they get, the less they hold. Kind of annoying. So I'm trying this time instead of a full strip, which wasn't working last time. A tiny little strip, and then a piece of foam at the front and a piece of foam at the back. Okay, you guys saw that, right? Damn it. This is what happens. Like, I mean, as I've said before, when there's a production, we're used to everything being paid for, and you do a 3D print of this. You don't do it this way. 3D print is an expensive use of materials, and these would cost a lot more. So, and it's hard being in Canada because we're always competing with the U.S. market, which things are cheaper. Oh, hell with it. I'm going to use my fingers and try not to get glue all over me. Christina, not get glue all over herself. Yeah, like that'll work. I'm also used to either having a partner here to work with. Um, but today's mental health day, so I can very proudly say that until Martin can deal with what's happening in his life, I'm not going to interfere with this process. He has to do what he has to do. So that's a big one. Oh, it's too big. It won't fit in between. I want to fit in between. I know, right? Ah, no. These clips are just not holding. That's annoying. I used to love these clips. It's like over time they just don't have as much spring anymore. They were a good price too. Where did I get them from? Oh, I guess I should put glue down the middle, right? Reinforce the top glue later. Someone sent a message from a weird number. That doesn't make sense. Sometimes I wish I had 3 hands when working on projects alone. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, they chipped a little bit. Yeah, I think these are going up, and then they're going to be discounted right away because they are our experimental crowns. So I can't charge you guys full price. I'd like to, but I someone said to me the reason I don't make a lot of money is because I'm too damn honest for my own good. I tried the other way of not, and I just yeah, it just I stopped being me, and I didn't like looking in the mirror anymore. So since it's definitely Mental Health Day, I'm proud to say that I may not make a lot of money, but I love my art. And if I'm going to learn on your dime, then you're going to pay the dime it's worth. If that makes any sense. But yes, I really could use another person right now. Anyone want to come over? Anyone? Oh, it's warm in this room. Oh, right. It's the light on the camera. This is such a cheapy little camera. It's good for its job, but the LED light is not as low temp as I'd like. So having it on so you guys can see me better never works out as beautifully as I'd like. No, stop sliding. Okay. Okay. You know what I'm doing? Putting hot glue on the inside. That's what I'm doing. I already put Gorilla Glue down the middle. I'm gonna flip it over like this. I'm gonna push it together. I can't see if it's lining up on the other side. I can only hope and pray that it is. Maybe that should get out of the way for now. And this is also not the materials we're used to. We're used to, like I said, productions will pay for the whole thing to be 3D printed, but it's such a waste of material for us. The cost would be too high. Oh, and the cost of things like plastics have gone up, which doesn't help. So I'm just going to hot glue and hope that the Gorilla Glue does not stick to the table. Where's that little support thing? Hot glue will hold it into place probably better than the clamp will. Because the problem with this, with the plastics, I may look at, for the next one, a different, these are ancient. I love these so much. I may look at a different, oh, I forgot to tag Smooth On again. Damn it, Smooth On, my apologies. I love your product. I just keep screwing up. But yeah, usually when you do like ABS as the actual material, you're laser cutting everything, which we can't on the smaller machine. We can't laser cut the ABS on the smaller machine. But you know, you're curving you're heating it up and you're curving it to get it to stay, and it makes it a lot easier because you can just heat it till it matches. You can't really heat up this stuff, especially once the powder's been put down for the color. So yeah, these are literally going up as experimental. Hopefully we don't experiment for too long. Honestly, it's how we pay ourselves good mental health practice. But yeah, art is definitely a mental health release for some of us. I hear people all the time going on and on and on about how, you know, it's their job to a point where they've lost love of it, and I'm like, it's just a job. You know, I could not live like that. I should have put that stone in first. I'm batting 100. Oh God, Martin, get healthy, please, honey. Okay, so there's a bit of a gap at the back. It seems to be staying, so I'm gonna put that one stone in. I still managed to get glue all over my fingers. So I found these because I couldn't find stones that look like the rest of these that are the right size. And the original piece, when we molded it, we didn't keep in mind shrinkage. And since Martin did the molding, and he's a guy, I'm not going to go any further because we're not that kind of broadcast. But yes, I found these beads that are pretty cool. These glass beads. They're a little heavier than I'd like. They're a little heavier than these other plastic stones I'm using. They look okay and they fit. So that makes me happy. Make sure I get the correct side up. So this is high temp glue. I don't use low temp glue. Low temp glue tends to be the stuff that you know, get in the kids craft section or the dollar store section. Be careful. All temp glue is usually, it gets halfway in between, but it's usually not as strong in a high temp gun. So if you're using a high temp gun, if you're using a high temp gun, please use high temp glue. Oh man, no matter how hard I try to not get toxic glue on my fingers, I've never stuck. Well, I've accidentally stuck my fingers together with hot glue before. That was painful. 6 sucks. Oh no, Charles! Charles, are you sick? Oh God, Charles. Of what? Like either you're sick and tired of something, or you're hopefully not COVID. Please don't say COVID. I've lost 9 people. Oh no, friend lost her parents the other day, both of them within hours of each other. So 10, 11. I've lost 11 people during COVID. So please tell me it's just like sick, like suck sick. Not we should be making plans right now sick. I mean, I know it's kind of greedy of me to say, I can't handle it, but I can't. Did that go in sideways? Oh, it did go a little off the side. Actually, it's still a little pliable. So you said Martin needs to get well. Oh, mental health, honey, mental health, mental health. And we're not getting into heavy details, but we are saying the more he goes through the process, the more we discover what's happening with him. And he's according to the psychiatrist, he's created 2 personalities to handle his stresses. So we have to figure out the triggers. We can't afford to, but he needs to find a place all his own where he can have a kitchen that's his and bills that are his. And it means he's going to have to still pitch in for here because this is his place of work as well as his, what was his home. And he has to learn how to budget, and he has to learn how to basically without my influence, which is hard because I've been with him for 34 years, and much of what he's accomplished, he says, is because of me. But that's a reliancy that puts him back into a parent-child mode, which is not healthy. So, ladies, if your man is someone who's doing that child thing and it's acceptable, it's acceptable until it affects your life. Then it's not. Don't do what we did and keep joking until it goes too far. Because once someone develops that dual personality, it becomes really difficult to separate it. So we're doing a lot more apart simply so he can learn about life. It is rough. I'm usually good. Hi, Anthony. So the Remember Me. We anyone who's contributing $5 worth of awards between now and I think it's the end of next week is the deadline we put. Can be included in the Remember Me, and Remember Me is it's a Day of the Dead event where we will ask you for every $5 you contribute, we will ask you the name of someone or a pet or whatever, anyone that's passed away. We've decided that if you want to do like a Legion or the Titanic, if you want to do things that are not immediate, we're okay with that too. We recommend you do $10 if you're going to do that. Minimum $10. And we will ask you to email. Those of you who haven't yet, please email your stories or tell us you want to read them on air. Like you want to tell the story yourself on air. And we did this last year, and we were able to raise the $60 to be able to adopt one monarch butterfly because they are on the endangered list. This year, we're hoping to make it to 120 and adopt 2 monarchs instead of 1, which would be awesome. So we'd like to move it to November 1st, which is actually the Day of the Dead Day, because the weekend that we originally planned to do this on, which is the weekend before the end of the month, the local convention has asked us to do a couple panels, but because of the ever-changing rules of COVID, they're not able to set their schedule until closer to the date. Which means if they say on that Sunday they want us to do a panel, we can't do both. So I'd like to broadcast some of the weekend. I mean, it's the first convention in almost 3 years. If not broadcast, at least record some stuff, and one of us can broadcast it later on or something. It'll be dependent upon how much data plan I have left as well. So yeah, that's where we're at, and of course, trying to be healthy at the same time is definitely an interesting challenge. You know what? Little pad at the back may work. I'll have to figure out a better way for it not to be sloppy. I think what we might do is what I might do is add. I wonder if a whole section would be too big, because that would add quite a number of inches, and it's I'm not putting it on my head yet. That's still warm. It might be sticky. I'll stick to my hair. But that's pretty tight to Martin's head, and if you're wearing a wig, so that's what I might do is make larger ones and put the foam all the way around. The foam's going to make it a little smaller. That would definitely support the stones. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Keep the loving up. We're going to ask that people keep the questions down and the judgment down. We had a number of problems on Periscope. We only had a few here where there's been a lot of judgment and a lot of people who are trying to use our change in relationship, but it has to happen for his own health. It has to happen. People keep thinking it's this horrible thing, but it's not. We're trying to rescue the business and the friendship. And I've always seen him as a partner more than I ever did a husband. So support from you guys would be great. Really, really great. So yes, I would love to see more comments, or if anyone wants to get on, it's easy enough to do with the hands free. Because it's still kind of weird. I used to do a lot of broadcasts alone, because Martin was never originally interested in getting on air. No, how did that chip? Oh crap. Okay, well they are glass. I've only got the 6 of them. All right, I'm putting hot glue over the chip. I'm gonna put it at the back. Yep, this one's definitely going on discount right away. Now, if you guys like them, like I'll put a price that they would be if they didn't have all these little issues, and then I'll do the discount. So you'll see what the price, what they're worth, and I'm happy to take pre-sales. That'll make life easier. But this is where we need your guys' help. I don't. A lot of people say I can't promote anything because I've only got 20 friends. Doesn't matter. Who remembers those old commercials? Told 2 friends, told 2 friends, told 2 friends. Just this is not that different. Especially on the internet, it's so much easier to promote each other. And I'm willing to trade promotions if someone's doing something drastically different. Like Desiree, honey, if you're out there, right? I'll promote your stuff, like your resins. If you promote my cosplay stuff, because you're not doing what we're doing. So it's really easy to support each other. Because some of these still have the cords that they're holding them together. And keep in touch. Like I mean, we are on Facebook as Car Hunger as well, and on Instagram is Car Hunger, CarRrhunger. If anyone wishes to do any typing for me, that would be great. Remember, it becomes a hyperlink if you actually type it in another window. And then, oh, come on. I think we needed a little bit more of a lip on these. Originally, we were going to put flat stones in here, but we can't find them that size. It's just a micro smaller than the original ones. And I can't find the ones we used on the crown that we used as a model for this. So that doesn't help. Just don't seem to exist anymore. And to make another mold is just going to up the cost. So let's see if we can rescue this. Because yeah, we want to focus on the page to cosplay and stuff, and we don't know if that's going to work. It's another reason why we want to be able to do Fan Expo um, without the stress of the Remember Me. We really didn't think Fan Expo was going to happen when we booked the date for Remember Me. Pick the date, so it's pretty crazy, huh, guys? Oh yeah, we need to pour better too, because this is just rough. It's also hard, I'll admit it's really hard on Martin to get things right when he's on air without me there, and he did all this without me there. So, is that the wrong? No, it can't be the wrong color glass. I only have 6 of them. I mean, I pulled them from the same little pocket at the bead store. Each one of these glass beads is worth $1.50 each, plus taxes and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, I mean, that's like $7 for the stone for these, another $2 worth of those, another 2, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All the beads in there, which I got to put more in. 15, 16, 17. About $20 in other materials. Oh, no, more than that because the mold. 17, 20, so 40. And then the mold itself, 80. You're looking at about $100 in materials. Oh, Canada. Remember, that's Canadian dollars, so you Americans are not spending as much as Canadian. And you say that to a Canadian, and they're like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. And then time. Because you're just getting your materials back. You're not getting anywhere. So I'll probably price these at about 200. If anyone wants me using real crystals, I might make one with real crystals, because I still have some real crystals. Real. Why am I talking like I'm a fraud? Real crystals are much more money. But I may have real crystals in these sizes. So, folks, this is a chance to ask questions, to have some conversation. Let me know if you can do Remember Me if it gets moved to November 1st. I know it's really hard to be, I admire those artists who are alone, and I'm really, really happy. Those of you out there who are artists and are doing the art community thing where there's a group of you on at once, I admire what you're doing. I really do. Now, the nice thing about the glass and the hot glue and everything is if it doesn't sell at all, we only lose the powder and the 2-part resin. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, normally when I work with a high temperature gun, I have a little thing of water nearby. Why did I not? If anyone comes in, please tell them that I'll be right back after I put my fingers under cold water. I don't know if you can still hear. Um, that really hurt. Wow. I forgot what that felt like. And yes, I have hot glued my fingers before. I've never gorilla glued my fingers together, but I have successfully hot glued my fingers together before. Except the hot glue ran down the middle of my finger and basically settled on the most sensitive part of the finger, which is that little bit of webbing in between. Wow. Give me a moment, guys. If I do this right, I'll be able to peel off any excess without peeling off skin. Yeah, this is why the glue guns you buy in cheapy stores are usually low temp. Yeah, that's gonna blister. But I got it quick enough that it's not gonna big blister. Oh, ow. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, that's gonna blister. Hi guys! I'm back. Feel free to chat. All right. Number 6 is going down now. So it seems that my little plan here with a little piece of foam instead of styrene is working, but because of the angle at the back, it's it's puckering. And it looks like Martin and or I are going to have to reassess the design. All right. All right. Yeah, that hurt. I can still feel my fingers. But the show must go on. All right. Will you ever take a pie in the face? LOL. I don't know how much are you paying me. I can take the pratfall, but Martin's better at it. I'm okay at the pratfall. Martin's much better at it. Something about being a guy. Apparently, they're better at pratfalls. So when I put this up, I'm going to have to make sure I technically measure it. The inside measurement. Guess if I'm putting a piece of foam in the back, I should put a piece of foam in the front. Just for padding's sake, because this stuff is not the most comfortable. Yeah, I think. I think I'll leave one of these open so we can pour a single piece and nope, wrong piece of white stuff. And take staples out because we don't want staples in people's heads. Even Takara struggles with it, and she get way more than I do. Oh, really? Yeah. There's a lot of unpleasant stuff, but we survive, right, guys? Like, I mean, we're human beings. We're capable of being positive and driven and self-reliant. It's just a matter of choice. Put this really close to the edge. You know what? That might help. Now let's not hot glue burn myself again because twice would be stupid. Once is a mistake, a boo boo. Twice is totally stupid. I had one friend who would like burn herself practically every single time. I mean, if she came out of a project without, hot glue burns, I was shocked. And there was another friend of ours who did this outfit for competition that was very revealing. And another person said, so it kept sliding off her tit, but she wanted to get up there. So another person said, well, what you do is you put hot glue on the inside of the cup of the outfit, like where the chest is, and then you let it dry until it's just a little sticky, and then you push it up against your skin. Well, she was having to go on stage, and she didn't wait long enough. So yes, I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to. I mean, it looks good, but the powder is uneven, and that bothers me. Like it bothers me. The powder is uneven, but if it doesn't bother someone else, well then look at the discount. And folks, we never turn down if you decide it's worth more, even in the state it's in. We're not going to turn down the extra money. Just we'll have to give you our PayPal because or e-transfer. But see, the shape is not one. We use the same form as we did for the fairy crowns that are now downstairs. And we didn't think about the fact that it would do this because the fairy crowns are open in the back and tie. So they're very different. Saying hello and giving free reactions do not cost. That's right. That's right. Cheers. All right, if I'm going to put that next to the computer with cats around, I close the. Oh, hey, my camera. Oh, right, because it's this way. I was lining everything up with the HAPS sign, and I forgot that you do the split screen. If it's not in the middle of the shot, it doesn't come through. So, wow, I have less room than I thought. It's hard because usually it's like Martin setting it up while I'm playing with all the settings. All right. So I pre-decided which one's which. Oh, and I've forgotten. Am I putting the red on, putting the red stones on this one? Or am I putting all the red designs on the silver one? Because the other one I've got like blues and clears set aside. The red really pops on the silver, but how's these purple glass look? Ew, no. No, the red is obviously going on the copper. That was yeah. So these were the other ones, and you can see they're gorgeous. I don't know where I got them, but these are what we used for his original crown. We got extras, in case we wanted to do stuff. But that was years ago. That was back when Maleficent was first brought out, and we took the mold off his old crown, thinking that they would fit, but we forgot about that slight micro amount of shrinkage. And the way we designed it, it doesn't allow for the shrinkage. So I got to pop this one out, and I'm going to use the glass um, this way forward. These purple ones. It makes the crown darker, and red and black and stuff like that. Oop. So flowers equals Haps gold. Also, people can afford to share their flowers. 3,500 to 3,550 per month. Grows in the garden monthly. Charles, you've lost me. Flowers equals Haps gold. Oh, flowers equals Haps gold. Is that amongst the awards? Because here it's a matter of $5 worth of awards get you added to the Remember Me, and we're thinking of removing Remember Me to November 1st so we can focus on the convention. That has not given us a schedule because they're still trying to modify everything to go to COVID regulations. God, I hope they don't cancel last minute. That would just be disastrous. I don't think there's going to be a lot of out of town people this time. It's going to probably be mostly in town, people. None of us can afford hotel rooms. Oh my God, Martin and I are going to be running panels and doing costume changes from the car again. Thank God for like family washrooms. Oh right, I got a budget. I got a budget for parking. Of course, because we're bringing a lot of stuff, I don't even think we can split with people. Oh come on, see, high temp hot glue really holds. Broadcasting once a week gives you 500 and halves awards, or gold, or flowers. Oh, okay. 4 times equals 2,000. I've not been able to keep up on all that. So those are the little claims, right? The little when you log in. Or is there something I should be doing, like hashtagging or All right, stone came out. It's a little dirty, but it's not dead. Yeah. Oh, on the second thought, it is kind of scratched up. All right, well, wrong with developing something, right? You lose a lot before you try to gain. Next person who says, I'm your friend, I want something for free, I'm going to scream. I know it probably won't do much good except give me some sort of satisfaction, but you get the idea. Oh, I said I was going to leave these open and see if we can add a piece to the back, right? Okay, so I'm going to leave these open. So we've got that mold too. Should be able to get curvature out of it. 50 gold a day for just for checking in, yes. So the simplest of things you can do, being done in 45 minutes a week. What, getting the extra coins? Yeah, but Charles, we're only giving people partial information. Are those flowers and gold part of that daily login, or is there a different way? Or there's what is it? More challenges? That's a hold on. Is that in the thingy? I know. Is that in the thingy? Oh yes. Ow. That's my knee. Hang on. I know seeing my backside is not the most pleasant view. Damn it! It's hard doing this alone when you're so used to. All right. Community guidelines about health center. I'm trying to remember where it is. Oh, it's under the gear thing, right? Profile, gear thingy, or coins and awards. Invite master, in the loop. I've got all those Fletcherist, social butterfly, nothing to hide, community guidelines, login streak, and weekly broadcast streak. Is that what we're talking about? Get more coins. Every week you go live for more than 2 minutes, or at least one social multicasting platform. Is that what we're talking about? The plus 500? Because I'm doing fine with that. 43 weeks in a row, go live next week for 500 more coins. Oh, is that why I've got? I mean, I know I bought some at one point, but I've got a lot more than I thought I had. 3 hours a month. Okay, Charles, I am going to bring you up because more conversation will keep my brain going. It is so weird not having Martin. Okay, Charles. And yes, I know we've got the whole community for broadcasters and stuff. But honestly, folks, I also can't stand Discord, and there's just been no time in all this recovery. So it's help like this that works really well for me, folks. There's Charles. Works really well for me.
Hello.
Hang on, let me turn your volume up. Okay. Hello. Hang on, I gotta
Hello.
turn your volume up a little bit. Hello. There we go. Your volume's up now.
Good.
So I can hear you, but you're sideways, Charles. We
Why
have
does
to.
everybody want to do the like I do they want to do the panorama. I do the other one, the first one.
Yeah, but doing it the other way, I can't get all this in the shot.
Well, I just
So,
accept that it's not perfect, and
but I can't get
so
all
that's
this
how
in
I
the
think.
shot.
Yeah.
This is why people usually watch us for all this. So, and the iPad cannot remain plugged in, and it's an older iPad. So that camera right there is an old iPad. So it really has to stay plugged in. And the plug is on the bottom of it or the side if it's like this. So it just makes more sense to provide that for the audience as well as for ourselves. So tell us more. Tell us more.
Okay. Haps Awards. They're they're gold coins. But
Yes.
if you're directly talking about money, so that's why flowers. Then it's less. It doesn't feel like you're talking. Give me money, damn it! You're just saying you've got flowers in the garden. Share the flowers, because your heart. Because 3,500 people don't think about it, but you got 3,500 for even less than 45 minutes a week. Because 5 minutes, you can do it quicker than 5 minutes. Just check in, like, say, after lunch, after breakfast, before you go to bed. Boom, 50. You click it, boom, you're gone. So even less than 5 minutes. Because, like I saw yesterday, someone says it's people can't afford to tip. Well, if you're doing, like, I mean, if you like the place, like, you got the people that you like to watch every day, or even, like, being here
Well,
every day is not hard.
no, part of our well, it is for people like me who are supposed to be cutting down on screen time because the migraines are getting worse and my business
Well, okay,
completely
that's.
involves screen time. So a lot of editing, a lot of video use, a lot of conference calls, to keep the career going, let alone getting back on. And then there's learning an online
Mhm.
store. The doctor has strictly said to me, I have to give up something. So unless someone else is willing to do all the aspects of the career and the store for me and understand they're only going to get a cut if we start selling things. In other words, they put the same risk out there as Martin and I do. I can't. There are
Yeah.
people like me that it's a very medical thing, and selling in my store is very important. The other problem here is we are doing story times and stuff. We are actually producing things based on an actual financial value, and that's very important because we didn't do that on Periscope, and we lost. We lost out because we said any amount, and what was happening was we were failing. Um,
Hmm.
I understand mindset, but I also understand where we have to be in order to make this work for us to be on here. And it's pretty scary sometimes, but we want to be on here. We want to not starve the way we did on Periscope. I'm happy that we were able to cash in, and I didn't have to go through the whole lecture like Periscope did, and how the rules and stipulations are different than I thought. That was just a very horrific time for us. And we did a lot of work. We gave away a lot of things. We did, but it's what we do is very unique and very different. So it's really hard for us to speak a language that'll give us success without a lot of stress on people. So that's why we say to them, $5 is X number of coins, and you have the whole month to accumulate it. The month before, so we have time to organize the story time.
Hmm.
Like I mean, for example, the Remember Me that's coming up, it's different. We're not writing a story time this time. We're donating all the money to the Monarchs, which means no matter how broke we are, whatever you guys raise has to temporarily come out of our pocket until we can cash it in on HAPS. But we're still excited about donating the money to the Monarchs. So that
Okay.
has to be an actual value because it's a $60 US for every monarch that we adopt, virtually adopt. And this time the draw, instead of being for product, because we're also building product and doing draws. So
Hmm.
instead of being for the product this time, it's the person who wins the draw will be the person who gets the the adoption certificate and um, the plush monarch, and basically we'll have it directly sent to them. Um, so they'll get it instead of Martin and I, because last year when we did this, Martin and I got them. So yeah, it's hard for us to basically fall within the same parameters as most of the people on here, because we have to put a value on things, and we
Oh
have to be
yeah.
able to
I,
afford to write off prizes and stuff. So
no, I'm just trying to, because I I don't know that people are have it in their head. Okay, if you can, because and obviously you've got migraines, which are terrible, so that you can't. But if you don't have a health issue with, you can, broadcast once a week, like it says in the what you read. It's not even 10 minutes. So five
oh, I take a
minutes.
Tylenol. I take a Tylenol every time, but if, like I said, because of the other stuff. I mean, I log in every day to get my coins, and I've been handing them out. Ow, 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 ow. I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. I'll be right back, guys. I've never done that twice. Oh, I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Ow, ow,
We can
ow,
hear you.
ow, ow, ow. Ow. Bloody hell. I've never done that twice in one project. Ever.
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah, thanks. Freaking hell. Okay, that's 3 fingers that are now going to be blistered. And this is why high temp glue guns are not recommended for general crafts. And you can't just buy these guns at dollar stores, because the second they touch your skin, yeah, usually I put a cup with ice cubes and water next to me when I work on this stuff. But for some reason today I decided not to. I don't know why. All right, yep. That's fun. But yeah, so it's really hard, but it's not impossible. It's a value, and yeah, there are a lot of people who aren't in the same situation. But that's why we're more comfortable speaking our own language. And a lot of suggestions have been made to us too as to how we can create more involvement, and you know um like the Habs takeover. The two people I had to do that with me, it was a hell of a thing to find them, and then they canceled last minute. Now I'm not going to get upset at them because, well, um, one of them wound up with COVID, so I'm not going to say no. You have to be part of the takeover,
Mhm.
and the other one, lost a family member. So, um,
Mm.
so it was a last second, replacement, and I found one person. But again, we're in an industry and a lifestyle that is unfortunately not conducive to most incentives on these platforms. So we've gotten very relaxed about it, and very, we want to reach those maximums, and we want to reach those. We understand why the apps, whether it's apps or any other app, why they do these incentives, because of course, they're getting their portion, and they have to financially survive. And of course, the more people who come on here, oh, right, I didn't hold that long enough. The more people who come on here, the more, memory space they need, the more staff they
Mhm.
need, the more. So, but when it comes to this lifestyle, I mean, I remember Periscope had Marvel Broadcasting, Fox was on it. Um,
Really?
I
Wow.
got, yeah, yeah. When Periscope started out, there was a lot of big, Paramount was doing regular updates. Um, Disney had a Periscope channel where they brought you behind the scenes, things like Lucas, the ranch, and everything like that. And we were one of about 50 regularly broadcasting cosplayers. But again, the industry itself becomes such a demand, that the financial regain back, it doesn't equal the amount of time you spend on it, and it winds up costing you more to try to get the extra incentives to be popular and work with the algorithms. So it's something a lot of us have, kind of accepted, and all we can do is ask people to promote us, and we get what we get, and it's very difficult. 'Cause of course, the more we're on, the less time we have to run our own businesses and stuff. So yeah, we watched this Periscope like people just kept giving up. Same with Twitch. I mean, Twitch didn't really hit big again with cosplayers until um, what's the D&D group? Damn it, Critical Role.
Mm.
Until they started really heavily broadcasting on Twitch, but it's not their industry. It's just what they do on the side. So they have regular jobs and they have a life. But people like Martin and I who don't have lives, it's immeasurably difficult and financially not viable. So we kind of have to accept the fact that we're not going to make as much as everyone else simply because the amount of time it takes to do this to get to that level goes against the amount of time that the career needs. And I'd like to have a longer career, right? So, oh, my camera's off center. Comments. Two of my favorite artist hats, peoples, both of whom might be wearing pants. Hi, Dawn. Gotta go. Chat with you later. You got it, Jedi Senshi. Right, like every moment up here is time away from doing this.
Yep.
If you ask a lot of artists about, like, I mean, I'm still trying to learn how to do an online store, and things got much more frustrating when we had to go online. Being prop makers in film and television and cosplayers to regular conventions, it was really easy. But now it's a different story because it's our own company. We're not being brought in by prop shops to build, and they do all the paperwork and they do all the promotions and they do all the hiring and they do, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's easier for me to go on another artist's broadcast and be part of one of the community broadcasts than it is to do my own. However, then I don't get the coins. So that means I have to do something solid so that I can host one of those. But I can't because if work comes up, it comes up. So if I give too much of a heads up, I have to cancel. And that's, the Remember Me is a good example because we had it planned for the week before the end of the month, and we've been promoting for months, and we finally started accumulating the money, and we're slowly getting the names in, and people have promised to send their stories over emails, so everything's going fine. And then Fan Expo decides to go ahead, and we haven't done a convention in like 2.5 3 years because they canceled. But because of all the COVID regulations that all these hoops are jumping through in order to not cancel this year, they have to keep changing the way they're doing the panels,
Hmm.
which means we're not going to get our schedule until 3 days before. And the Remember Me is planned for that Sunday. So what if they put my panels on Sunday? I'm screwed, right? And they're not paying us anymore. Everyone's coming in volunteer this year, to try to get the convention to reboot itself and get it back up so we have something next year. I'm not used to that. I'm used to getting my honorarium. I'm used to getting my food paid for. I'm used to extra tickets so I can get more help when I need it. I'm used to having a hotel room paid for so I don't have to drive back and forth between home and convention or change from the back of my car. So COVID's changed a lot of this and made it a lot more difficult. So
Yeah.
if we want to do what we do, we can't do it. Now, it doesn't mean everyone else can't. I'll do my best to pop into 5-minute broadcasts if I see that you're up. I've done it with Michael a few times. He's done his short little broadcasts more often. We're not set up for that, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just because of who we are and what we present, and it makes us unique. But it also limits us on a lot of these kinds of things. And it's something Martin and I have accepted, as artists, where we're kind of used to starving. Not happy about it, but we're happy that we're doing our art. There's a lot of people who've already given up and gone away and won't anymore, which I think is a shame because even as a hobby, if you got it in you, Do a project once a month, right? Paint on your walls. Get into stencils. I had one person saying that they wanted to paint on their walls, but they can't because the landlord won't let them. And I'm like, what? You paint on your walls, you do something new each month, you do a corner of the wall and you do another corner next month or a different room or whatever, or detail around the doorway. And just before you move out, you take paint because you're supposed to give those 2 months notice. You take paint and you paint over top of it. What's the problem? You got to express, you got to be happy. I love taking glow in the dark fabric paint and putting a brush, like one of those disposable dollar store brushes, on the end of a stick and doing like a starscape, a random starscape, nothing in particular, no constellations, a comet or two on my ceiling. So at night
Molly.
I see it, you know. Hi, Molly.
Molly B.
Hi, Walt. Pittsburgh is a beautiful place, by the way. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have another monitor because I don't have Martin with me. So unfortunately, my only monitor is off to my left, not straight ahead of me. We are surviving, Walt. We are trying to reformat. Hey, Big Juicy. How you doing, old hound dog? But yeah, it's kind of weird being on by myself. But Martin and I are completely reformatting life, and turning into a much bigger adventure than we thought it was going to be. But we're still alive. I'm assuming everyone on here is alive too. Because if you're not, who am I talking to? If I'm talking to ghosts again, we got a problem. I mean, obviously Charles is real. Charles, you pull out a sheet and do that. I swear, I'm gonna just, I'm hanging up on you.
No, she.
No sheet, okay.
But I think I could actually be like I'll keep writing and drawing until death, disease, or injury. But maybe even with death, I might be able to be an actual ghost writer.
But I'm bum.
And that's something I hate. Why be a ghost writer? Like what? That's stupid.
You get paid more.
But that's just wrong. I mean,
I know. Hey, look, in 1999, when I went down to Los Angeles to study, um, and I stayed at my friend's place while I was doing that because she was in England, and there was a writer's strike on, and I was like, okay, well, it doesn't affect me. I'm down there for acting. And no, it was a reality television writer's strike. And I'm just like,
reality television.
you
Ugh.
want to get paid more for sitting down and watching a bunch of people freak out at each other and write a bunch of suggestions so the producers can tell these people what to do to create tension and get the ratings up. And you want more money for this. Why? It just doesn't make sense. Well, thank you for the appreciation award. It's 30 cents. Cool. You are, Walt, you are right in that time period where we haven't cut off for the Remember Me yet. So you'll be added to the list on our main ID as contributing this month towards the Monarch adopting a Monarch butterfly with the WWF. And if you can get to $5 before, I think we put it. My hands are kind of busy. I think we put it as the 16th or something like that. It's in the video. But if you can get to $5 before then I will be asking you for a person or a pet or anyone you want to honor who has passed. And I will ask you for a story and whether or not you want to come on and tell the story yourself, or whether you want Martin and I to read it. But yes, we are thinking of moving it to November 1st because we now have a convention that's asking us the same weekend as Remember Me to do panels, and we don't want to turn them down, but we don't want to leave you guys hanging. So November 1st actually is the Day of the Dead. And we have Halloween plans, fortunately and unfortunately. So nice to have Halloween plans after 2 years of nothing. We'll be safe. We got these clear plexi mask thingies. Happy Halloween award! Woo! Thank you, Big Juicy. The monarchs in my yard seem happy. Nice, Molly. Everyone plant milkweed. They are on the endangered list. They are on the and they should not be. They are migrating bugs, and they make a 3 month journey, 2 to 3 months journey down to Mexico every year. And Mexicans believe that they carry the souls of the deceased back to them and actually talk to the monarchs when they arrive during their Day of the Dead ceremonies.
Hmm.
So we've since we moved back to Ontario, because there really is no monarchs in BC, unfortunately, anymore. They're all gone completely. Like it's like 99.9% are gone. Every year they see less and less. There's maybe 10 that make it. So stop it, Walt. I'm broke. No, don't stop, Walt. But this is the only month we're doing this. It's the money from the awards this month are going into the Remember Me. So the World Wildlife Foundation or Fund, and the draw for that one will be any of you that have given awards. Any of you that have been given awards, the draw for that month will be the plush monarchs from adopting, and the certificate and everything will be mailed directly to you this time. Instead of Martin and I making something monarch, we're gonna let you guys have, like, whoever wins that draw will get the package, and it's a good package. Like it's 3 monarchs, 3 plush monarchs, and it's an info card, and it's a little certificate. We'll make sure your name's on it. It'll be your name and our name type thing, and yeah, you'll get it mailed to you. Last year we donated aspects of it. Like we made a copy of the certificates before we, for ourselves, but we donated aspects of it, like the plush and everything, to a junior kindergarten daycare class. So they've got the card up on their wall and everything, which I think is awesome. I have a nice little protective milkweed patch in the corner of my yard. Yes, a little pollinator got Molly. I love you more than I ever have now. I get these weird hummingbird moths too. Oh, nice. I want the iPhone 15 Plus. Well, 13. Yeah, when there isn't a 15 yet. Awesome, Chris. Yeah. So this is the month Martin and I go broke because the more we encourage you guys, because we're gonna have to send the money in personally because we can't cash the haps out yet. So we are going to find that money and we will have it set aside. We've already started setting aside a little bit since we started planning this a few months ago, and we should be able to do it as long as you guys don't go over $300 or we're completely screwed. Because that's like our food money once we go over that. But yeah, so we've held back on things and we've held off on things. So what'll happen is we'll spend the money up front and then we'll cash in on the HAPS awards and that'll come to us. So that's how we're doing it because it's easier, and that means the fund happens faster, and you guys, whoever wins the award, will get it faster. Oh, did I put this one backwards? Ah, I'm not changing it. I'm not changing it. I'm just discounting these. Guys, these crowns are not working the way we wanted them to. So when these ones go up on the store, they will be discounted because they are just not. We're experimenting with a different technique than we're used to using in productions. I see, and this is what I was just talking about um, with Charles. Habs hug, yay! Clear cutting of trees in Mexico hasn't helped. No, no, it has not. I'm very upset. I don't know if you guys heard, but the two lead activists in Mexico for the monarchs mysteriously died last year, and there's suspicion of murder. Because of course they're just stupid butterflies, right? I'm disgusted. Come on, folks, human beings. But this is the only month we can afford to do this. So we really want to see more support to the monarchs. And we love our monarch wings. They're up on our store. So you guys can check out the store as well. It's Carhunger, CARRHUNGER.ca. And usually we do hand gestures and everything, but as you can see, my hands are full. But the Haps hug is actually I can do the Haps hug with this. And then it was what else? What else? One love award is yeah is that which I can kind of do. Happy Halloween! Oh, I didn't come up for anything with the appreciate award. I can do with one hand. There we go. No one give me a super hard award because that requires a bubble going up. I guess I could do it. I made myself a ceramic queen bee crown last year. Nice. folks, if you're artistic in a different way than Martin and I are, we'd love to do some cross promoting. We'd love to be on um each other's channels. First award. Oh my God, Charles. Um, and now he gets to watch me suffer. First award. I guess I have never seen that one. So, oh, it's the heart. Okay, so this can be the first award. Burst, burst, burst. Oh, 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 oh. I am going to actually put Charles temporarily in the larger window so we can see what he's working on. What are we working on? Oh, what is that, Charles?
Peach Ink Daily. Peach Ink 2021. Because this month
Wow.
I'm going. I'm doing almost all my drawings in ink.
Oh,
Peach is a
that's
character.
awesome.
That's Peach, because I can draw a Peach easily enough the same way each time, and just covers that suggest adventures or just reasonably pretty cover scenery.
That is awesome. Hey, Molly B, since you're here, do you want to get on? Is that ceramic crown nearby? I would love to see it. Because I don't do ceramics, neither does Martin. That's not our area of specialty. For us, it's mostly electronics, casting, molding, props.
No, I don't.
I do. It's a disaster. And I mean a disaster because I haven't looked at it in years. Probably has things that I've already bought for myself at some point. Do you, Molly B? But I would love to, if you got that ceramic crown nearby, I would love to have you on. I'd love to see it. But that's interesting, Charles, that you're doing everything in ink.
Yeah, except for
Figure
like
it. Oh, no, you're too old.
there was
Except
like
for like,
4 or 5, 6, something like that I did in pencil before I remembered. Oh yeah, and then I was just like, well, why not do everything in ink? Because why not?
Molly, I was stung by a couple bees this morning and it hurts to wear a shirt. Ouch. Well, don't point the camera at yourself. Point it at the crown. Or drop me what's the quickest way? Um,
Put on a bathrobe.
yeah.
It'll be your royal.
Sorry. I love it. We're supporting these because honeybees are also on the endangered list. So
Yeah.
we're supporting all these creatures that keep hurting us. It's like, oh, it's probably why they're on these lists, unfortunately. People don't understand. They're more scared of us than we are of them.
Uh,
You know, they're just, I mean, they're more threatened than we are. I sometimes think humans are stupid a lot simply because we know we're not um, at risk. You know, we're not on any lists where we have to worry about whether or not our species dies out.
ouch.
We're what?
Well, Molly
We're
said I was
jumping out of
stung in a
planes.
very sensitive area on my chest.
Wow. Well, trying to remember, Molly. Do I have you on? Do I have you on Facebook? Or I can invite you in, and you can put a pic. You can give me a picture. If I give you control, you can upload a picture here directly to this broadcast. Just make sure you don't turn on your camera. Like go live without camera and mic, and upload the picture directly to here. Because I'm curious. And we have you here, lovely. It's so kind of cool that one at a time I'm finding people who I knew where to find before and lost track of, and then they're all reappearing on Haps. And it's like, yes. And for all of you who are friends with us and are trying the Twitter live thing, get your ass over to Haps. Let go of Twitter live. It's not doing you anything. She says, knowing full well this broadcast is being fed down to Twitter live. I have a hive too. Oh no! Accidental. Oh wow. I don't know. I'm rather high on Benadryl. No, we don't. Do you have a photo of it? High on Benadryl. It's cheaper than being high on drugs or alcohol. Benadryl's definitely a much cheaper thing. You know someone's an artist when they find the cheapest way to get high. Benadryl! Just getting a closer look at your peach. That is
Okay,
cool.
well, I
But
am.
you see how we can't see Charles? That's what I'm suggesting for you, honey.
Yeah, well, I haven't done anything that should be making it hard to. Okay.
There he is. I can take one or bring it home from studio. Oh, it's at the studio. Oh no, it's not even with you. Oh, poop. Well, you'll have to keep an eye open on us and see when I go to air with more crowns, so we can do a crown comparison between ceramics and plastics. I can switch things around a little. There we go. There we go. Because yeah, it's weird, kind of relearning and refiguring things out again with us. Because like I was saying earlier, a production pays a fortune, and this is the kind of thing we would 3D print exactly to the actor's head, not guess what people's head size would be. Which is why I'm thinking the next batch we do, so that we avoid this shape that unfortunately happened. The next batch we do, we create we make it too big, and if people's heads are smaller, we put like thicker foam inside. I know it means it's a little further away from their heads, but I'd rather do that than try to custom do it, because that's just gonna up the cost. And I'm trying to keep the costs more reasonable. But yeah, see, if we do a spacer of one section, so one tall, one short, hopefully I'll have stones left to do that, so it matches the rest of it. It'll push it apart like that, and I can set the mold on a curve, like just one section of it, and it'll make it bigger. But like I said, we can make it smaller with foam, and it's only going to up the cost a little bit. It's going to up the cost by about maybe $15, $20 tops. And that's not bad when you've got something that's going to sit on someone's head better. Because yeah, you can see that this one I glued together the way it is, and it's got this horrible piece back here. So, and I don't like the way the powder went into these. We don't normally do it this way. We normally spray paint with automotive paints, but those are expensive and toxic. Whereas if you put a little dust mask on, the powders work much better. I'm forbidden to clutter the basement. Love 3D printer. So do we. We actually thought about doing these, and then we did a cost comparison between doing the mold and doing it this way, and the cost of 3D printing it, and then spraying it later. And it was just like the cost, because you'd have to 3D print it as a full crown, which means a massive amount of support material. Right, that's not going to stay up on its own. And then we thought of 3D printing each section, but still you've got the arch in each section, so you still have support material because it would print each section, like that. And then you're gluing together each and every section, which creates a weakness. Whereas here, we made one mold of one section, and then we repeated it. So we poured and poured and poured and poured till we had enough to basically thought, a crown size that we thought was reasonable. And it is according to Martin's fathead. But uh, and then we just poured one mold of the whole thing, and that's normally how it. So you can see that there's seams here, but there's no seam on the back because it's one whole mold made up of different pores, and we used up materials to make those initial pores, so the mold cost was actually cheaper than it would have been if we had to buy those materials. So that's what's going to make the first batch of products that are cosplay related up on the store are going to be much more um, cost effective
Do you
because
see anything you
we won't have
recognize,
to buy
Molly, on
them.
my camera?
Here, let me put you back up as primary. Number one. There we go. Oh, that's great! Yay! Molly B.
'Cause that's something I've started doing. Well, I started doing it with Peach and doing it with ink, and I'll continue doing it when I go back to drawing Peach in pencil as I shout something out, person or company or organization.
Woohoo! Nice. Nice. That's cool. So how did you come up for the ideas for Peach? Like, did it just come to you one day, or did you have a goal?
It's a critique of Oprah actually,
Okay.
because yeah, well, I mean, Oprah is great, and she fully deserves everything she got. But on her magazine, she puts herself on every single cover, and to me, that strikes as, I don't know, arrogant, conceited. Like, oh, I'm on the and she's alone. Like, oh my god, like I can't be with the only. As far as I know, I don't know if more people have been on since, but she shared a cover with Michelle Obama, and she shared a cover with Ellen DeGeneres. But every single cover, yes, it's your magazine, but like, do you have to be on every single cover? So then Peach is
Only
like,
her
okay, he's
publicist
on
knows.
every cover, but it's more like a comic, so it's okay. And even then, I haven't put him on every cover, so and then it's
Ah,
just something I want to do for 10,000 covers because I like big numbers.
10,000. Wow.
Yeah, but
10,000 is your
I'm
goal. Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, but if I'm doing it every day, even just every day, that's 365, and I've gone over. Like, well, okay, last year I started in the at some point in the year, so it was only 224. This year I'll have to. Well, I'm missing all of October, but I'll double down some other days, and I'm gonna have. I'll probably still have 400 covers this year, and then in a full year, if I wanted, I could do 730. You do that a few times, 10,000 takes, because I did the math in 25 years. It just normal. I could do it in 25 years, but it'll
Wow.
it'll take less.
But that's ambitious. Wow.
Well,
That's
I write a
amazing.
million words a year the last 2 years, and going for it again this year. Plus, an extra
Nice.
50,000 because I'm turning 50.
When are you turning
And
50?
this year I'm doing it in poetry. Sorry?
Oh, wow. When are you turning 50?
Yep. October 19th.
When? October 19th. Oh, wow. That's
And I
soon.
won't be home for most of the day, but so that's why I'm doing 10 days of Peach. So 18th to the 27th, I'm hoping to have as many as 7 guests out of those 10 days. And
Don't get married. You'll never have any time. What? Big Juicy. The whole point is supporting each other so you have more time. If you're losing time by being associated with a person that closely, then you're not doing it right.
well, that certainly wasn't directed at me, but I'll jump on that and say, well, for me the math doesn't work because the first part of the equation has never been an easy solve. Where you have to have someone to get married too.
That's true. And as Martin and I have discovered, the whole marriage thing is overrated and psychologically can do um, a lot of reprogramming that in modern days, especially if you're not having children, isn't worth it. We did not want to get married in the first place. We just wanted to be best friends for our whole life, and because of his parents' pressure on us, we did the I do's, and yeah, we're now separated. We're not, we're still partners. We're what we need to be,
Hmm.
and now it's a matter of him getting past. Today's mental health day, so I'm only going to talk a little bit as the Martin gave me permission to only talk about a little bit, which is fine. He's not completely comfortable with it yet,
Well,
but
yeah.
yeah, he was so catered to and spoiled and did everything everyone ever expected him to do, especially his family and his parents. And because of the way things have been going the last few years, he has created a distinct second personality that comes out when he's stressed in particular ways. And we're having to completely rebuild his life by separating the two of us in those ways and only being together when we're working or when we're social where there's other people around, because he's got to learn how to have his own place, his own bills, his own, because he never learned how to be an adult and he went straight to living with me. um yeah, he keeps reverting back to this spoiled child, which no one wants around. They want the adult Martin around, but they don't want the second personality around because it's not very productive and it's very opinionated and it's very loud and it's very non-productive. So it's really tough on him now. It's hard on me, but in different ways than it is him. So I can't really say who it's harder on. But people keep assuming that the man, and that affects him too when he hears that the guy's going to have a better chance. And not necessarily. He didn't have to struggle growing up. I did. So only time will tell. And I still love him and I
Hmm.
still care about him. But we are not the marrying type, and we got married because of other people and what they expected of us. That's the wrong reason to get married. Don't even try it, folks. If you're young and you're out there and your parents are pressuring you, just look at them and go, "Look, you brought me up to have my own life. I'm gonna have it. Bugger off." And tell them Christina told you to say it that way. if you're worried about your
And
parents
here's her
seeing
number
things a
and the
particular way,
times
just
you can
blame it on, yeah.
call her to give her hell,
Exactly. I'm
or
used
you
to it.
can you can give her hell on camera. She's on
Yeah.
Haps TV
Yeah, exactly. At Car Hunger.
/ invite / car hunger or
Yeah, CARR,
car
my
hunger
last
creative.
name, Hunger, his last name. Yeah, pretty easy. Just don't forget my second R, or you'll get a completely different kind of thing. Because apparently one R brings you to an automotive fan page, which I'm not surprised. But but I've gotten so, like, so many women in my age bracket or in menopause, at whatever age, either older than me or whatever, are just so angry at everything, and I'm just sitting here going, why? You worked your whole life to be And you had all this hormones raging and raging while you were perimenopausal. You're menopausal now. The hormones have settled down. Why haven't you? Settle the hell down, women. Christina, you need to stop babying him. I never babied him, Big Juicy. Yeah, military. Yeah, no. He is an artist. He is not a military type. Well, yeah, you're always kidding, but again, two people when you're married, a proper relationship is one of them understands the other one and the other one understands the one of them, and you help each other gain more time back. In other words, hey honey, I'll do the dishes this week, because you have a project. And we were together 29 years and married for legal protection. Yeah, see, Molly, yeah, Molly's getting the hang of this. Um, she figured it out. And this everyone's out to make these big deals and lock so many of us into stereotypes. The only thing I use stereotypes in is my writing, my characters, because that's you've got to base it on something. But most of the time, most of my characters and my writing and my characters that I'm acting are not me. They might have some micro aspect of me, because that's how, that's the best actors in the world can tap into that. And I do, and I usually get exhausted afterwards, so leave me alone when I've done a good performance, just to recharge, some quiet time writing in my journal, etc. But yeah, there's, it's like there's always pushing it too far when you push someone who's not in stereotype. And we're on Haps to be us. We're in cosplay to be the characters. I still have a hard time with Maleficent. I can understand her tragedy. I can understand her struggles. I can understand how things happen to her and why, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What I don't get is um, why people don't understand that I relate to her on some of the tragedy level. I don't relate to her on the destroy everything because I'm upset level. I just don't. I'm not that type. So it's actually really hard to do her properly because you're supposed to be yelling at kids, and I just can't because although I did knock over a kid with my wings once, and I was very grateful to see the mother laughing. She laughed at her 3-year-old son about getting him in the way of my wings, and I thought, oh, thank God, because if I had to stay in character, um, that child would have been crying more than he was. The mother was just so it was hilarious. She's like, serves you right for getting their way. Like, I knocked over your child, but okay, if you're not going to be upset about it, I'm not going to be upset about it. But there was that split moment of how do I react to that? But Martin says I'm not allowed to hold my own remote control for my wings anymore because I'll just do it again. He's probably right. A marriage is never 50-50. Again, I don't ever use the words never. Yeah, I remember when you two lovebirds were apart for a while. Yeah, it's a matter of reprogramming his brain. We're still equally in love. And it has been 50-50 numerous times because 50-50 doesn't have to happen at the same time. 50-50 can happen back and forth easily enough. And for the longest time, we had that. And then his parents died, and COVID happened, and he wound up in debt, and our credit scores were destroyed because of co-producer. We did final math as to how much we lost on that festival. The initial amount was $279,000, and then with the slander and the blocking jobs and everything that happened after that, um, we lost about $1 million
Oh,
because of one project and trusting the wrong person. Um, I can't say I'm used to it, but I can say emotionally I'm recovering from it a lot faster than him. Um, but when you think about it, he's got that on his head, and he feels like a failure. He's got his parents dying. He feels like a failure. He's got the 8 moves. I'm not doing well with the 8 moves either. I'm still emotionally recovering from that, and financially recovering from that. in 2 years. 8 moves in 2 years. That's a lot. Um, so he's got a few extra aspects that I don't. So it's not going to be 50-50 for a while. And I have to decide how long I can hold in because I still love him and he's having a harder time reformatting his life. I mean, when I was a kid, I moved every second or third year. When he was a kid, I mean, his whole life he lived in 3 places and then he met me. Whoops. Um, big whoops. I'm out of glue sticks. Even bigger whoops. Oh, okay. Look. No. He he finally cleaned up this place, but I don't know where he put anything. So this is labeled. Yes, this is labeled. Yes. Um. So yeah, when you think about what we've been through, he's doing amazing. He's doing absolutely amazing in comparison to what other people would be. So yeah, I don't use words. Well, I never use the word never. I know I just used the word never to say that I never use the
Twice.
word never.
You used it twice because you said I never use the word never, so that's twice.
Exactly. Two negatives make a positive. I think in this case. No, maybe not. But I will never. I don't. I can't even think of another word right now.
And you used it
Right in
again.
the
I heard it.
head.
I heard it
I know you heard. I know. I know. Let me go away and hide now.
in the
Okay,
corner.
Charles, you can have the broadcast to you later. Okay.
2 minute. 2 minute
So
timeout.
God damn it. Every time someone
I'll
tells
even
me to
put my
behave,
timer
I'm like,
on.
oh crap! No, no. What do you get your husband for anniversary? New pair of work boots? What? No, usually we just go out to dinner and see a movie, and we're actually because we're separated now. Um, and we have a separation agreement, and it's been weird, kind of
Oh,
adjusting to it. Um, but we had to turn it into something technical and
yeah.
legal, and his brain was not going to go there unless we did. We're trying to separate him from the emotions put into place by his parents. But just two. What? No, Molly, I can't afford more than 2 minutes. It's my broadcast. I thought you people
Well,
loved me.
I'll take over. This is the Petrie takeover.
That's not
Me,
fair.
I'll talk to Molly. Ah, life is full of unfairness.
uh,
Molly to the rescue.
um, we've now decided to reset our anniversary back to May 29th, which is when we met. And that means all the things that we missed out during COVID, because we were going to have a 30th wedding anniversary. Now, next year, if everything goes okay, we are going to have a 35th friendship anniversary. So, we'll have a big party for that instead, because COVID took away all of our, opportunities to celebrate
Well,
our love. So next year on May 29th, our anniversary will be reset to the day we met instead of the day we got married. And we'll keep celebrating that way. See, he's in there. He's the same person that I know and love. He's just battling with this child. It's a mental health thing. So when the psychiatrists say I have to do something weird that is uncomfortable and it's for his own good, I'm not saying no. I want to keep the man in my life. He's very special to me. You don't spend 34 years with someone and just go, okay, bye. You're stressing me out. You don't. I mean, so much is intertwined. And besides, I'm a Leo. I'm stubborn enough. I don't give up that easily, and he's a Taurus, so yeah, we're both pretty stubborn in our own ways. I got spiderweb syndrome going on here. Yay, hot temps. Let Charles take over. Molly! Let Charles take over. you
No,
got to
it,
keep my audience entertained, man, because I'm just going to be so disappointed in you, and just I'm gonna have to
me
spread
disappointing a
rumors
woman?
like
Never.
common people.
Never happened.
Oh, are you sure? Have you asked any woman whether or not you disappointed her?
Oh, I know I have. That's why I was saying it like I was saying it. Like I never disappointed a woman. Never. Well, not in that way. I think that way it was fine, but just well, no one ever
Why?
said that was the worst.
We've got a sliding scale, do we?
Well, true story. Uh, there was once a time where someone was so happy they said somebody else's name.
What?
Yeah,
Oh man,
but
I've never had that
there's two
happen.
ways to take it. There's the bad way, and the good way is that well, I made them so happy they thought of someone who they wanted to be with. So that's the two ways to look at it.
That's very positive.
But that's
Very,
the
very positive.
one of the ways to look at it.
There's probably plenty. I mean, really, you can choose to look at things a billion ways. You just got to make that choice. Oh, I didn't put the stones in the middle yet. Oh, I'll go back and do that later.
Oh, there it is. I mean, it wasn't like this person I was celebrating with, you know.
Right.
I mean, it was, but
Well, and this is it too. When things like hormones, expectations, physical condition, when things change, if we're hard on ourselves about it all, and you get to a point where something physically happens or mentally happens that you can't anymore, or it's not a major part of your life anymore. If you're hard on yourself, you're never going to be able to evolve into that next level. I mean, my interests are very different than they were when I was in my 20s. That's kind of what happens when you run out of eggs in your body. It kind of goes, and people should be more educated on what perimenopause and menopause is, like actually is. I mean, I still joke about it. I'm never going to stop that, but I understand so much more about it now than I did then, and it's created a very different expectation in life. Oh, I had someone leave one of my broadcasts one time because I was very openly talking with a few other people I had invited in about expectations at different points in life, and I said, well, Martin in many ways is much more feminine than I am, and part of this, him looking for his own place for a while, it may be forever, don't know yet. We have to see whether or not we can get his brain to kick in. If so, then we'll just move back in together. It's no big deal. um, Financially it is, but emotionally and psychology. And he's like, oh no, 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 and he just kept typing and typing. I don't even remember his name, but he kept typing about how, I'm just saying that because he's not here, et cetera, et cetera. So I hollered because Martin was in the other room. I said, hey, honey, would you want to come and address this? Because I'm being told I'm a liar. And Martin came in and said, about what? And I said, your need to clean things. He says, oh yeah, I'm obsessed. She's a slob. And he said, I'm very therapeutic in that way, and I'm very feminine in that way, and I don't mind. And the guy actually told us to F off and disappeared. He even blocked before I could block him. And I'm like, really? That's it? Your masculinity is that threatened by another man openly saying he finds it therapeutic to do the cleaning? Jeez. Jeez. Oh, we got a.
yeah, there.
Oops. There we go. Okay.
I muted.
You muted me.
Well, I muted my
Maybe.
desktop.
Okay. Like
I usually
good.
have my desktop muted.
Ah. Apparently this time you did not.
Well, because the app wasn't responding. I was getting the app is not responding, and I accidentally hit close app, and then this guy
Ah,
was I had to refresh it. So
the joys of technology.
if someone if the universe wanted to give me a webcam, I think I could work that with the computer.
You think you
Well,
can handle
that
it?
other subject was brought up before, so I'm just throwing that out there to the universe.
Hey, sometimes you get lucky, right?
It's been a minute since I've been lucky. Yeah, I'm
But you
not
know,
afraid to take shots at myself.
we're not that kind of broadcast. You know that, right?
I remember that, but
Oh
I've
yeah,
already
that's
see,
on.
I've yeah, but I'm only alluding to things. I haven't actually.
Yeah,
Well, okay, I did relate
yeah.
the first story, but
It started back in our Periscope days. Back in our Periscope days, many years ago, we were making our first lightsabers on air, and we sand the blades, the clear rods, to get the light to travel up. And Martin was finishing off the battery compartment on one of the lightsabers, and it's really a one-person job. So I said, okay, my part's done. Let me sand the rod. And I sat there on air sanding a lightsaber rod, and the
mm-hmm.
remarks came pretty fast. And I wasn't thinking about it because prop maker, just you do that. And I've got that kind of personality and sense of humor, which I used a lot back then, and I still do every once in a while. And yeah, I looked over at Martin and very gently said, "I don't think we're that kind of broadcast." And he said, "No, no, no, we're not that kind of broadcast." And it was just like, oh God. And then from that point on, we did anything, no matter how small, anything we said or did that was suggestive in any way, shape, or form, that came up. Not that kind of broadcast. And it was just like, okay, I guess that's forever now. This is going to be an interesting combination of stones. I have to find a better source of stones before I do the more expensive ones. Like, these are still very experimental in comparison to what we would do for production. So I want to sell them, but I'm not too concerned about the perfect color match because I'm working with stones I presently have. Whoops, that one went in really crooked. I am fixing that though because that's wrong.
As it is though, with two devices, I've still managed to do broadcasts for over 5 hours. So I've done
Nice.
7 hour broadcasts because I generally start with my pocket computer, formerly my cell phone, and then when it gets slow, I bring on my laptop and then repeat the process. I rarely have them on at the same time because gotta shut, gotta turn off the mic on the cell phone and put in the the headphones. Otherwise, it makes a terrible high pitch sound that it's not good.
Feedback, and not the kind you want.
Well, I rarely get the kind I want. As I was saying before, well, like the flowers and the even just reaction, And if you look at the reactions, you've got three that are totally positive. The thumbs up, the the love, and the appreciation. The others, like you've got crying, so you can say, "Oh, he's crying." Like that person is crying because how bad that broadcaster is, and then there's the two looks of horror. Well, no, because like people, I think some people are like, no, I can't say that's good. But hey, I can say it's shitty. So of the seven,
No,
five have some. Well, four certainly have. You can put a negative spin on them if that's what it's going to take for you to react. You know, the two looks of horror, the laughing. It could be like, ah, laughing at you, not with you, and then the crying, like, oh my god, his poor parents. He or she, they're so terrible. Their parents
I
must be
think it's
like
supposed to be.
crying.
I think it's supposed to be like sympathy tears. You know,
Well, I
like
know, but
mourning the death of someone, or
well, no,
you
it's
know.
or just crying with joy. But for the people who are like, because it's so easy. You look online, though. I generally don't get all that. I don't get that directly, but you know, it's so easy for people to be like, "Ah, oh, that shit, that's bad." You know, like worry. It's easier to criticize something than say, "Oh, well done." And people
Yeah, of course
seem
it
to
is.
prefer that. So if that's what
Yeah,
it's going to
because
take, look at those
people
four.
have
They're negative. That can be the cause for reacting. But
people have very low self-esteem. You know, and you're right. It's much easier to be negative because it's that whole misery loves company, and I keep saying to my friends, the next one that says that I'm not a friend anymore. I just can't do this. You know, I would rather we stand together than misery loves company. I mean, I would rather feel united by a bunch of people who are moving ahead and we're progressing than hey, I'm miserable, you're miserable, let's stay miserable. No, no. I don't want you, you know, around me that much. Like come around me every once in a while when you have a hard thing to deal with. That's great. But solve it, damn it. If I'm gonna
we're
spend
not
my
that kind
time
of
talking to you
podcast.
about it. Yes, we're not. We're not.
Because you said a thing that line applies to.
I like to use the heart when someone viewing a broadcast says hello to me. Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's. Oh, does that mean if I keep saying hello to you, we'll get there? But that's part of the reason why we started doing the amounts for you know for story time and for stuff like that because you know you do the math and you can either do a whole bunch or there's one that's actually worth the $5 right off the bat and it makes people think about what they're pressing. You know,
Well,
because
I
they
actually
have to
worked out
they have to do the math.
what I want to, because uh, well, I've had it ready for weeks. I've got 7 levels I'm thinking of, and 5 levels I've already worked out what I'm offering for those levels, and so and the other two eventually I'll write them down and put them out.
Yeah,
So
being on here is much more fun than things like Patreon and stuff because you know Patreon you got to use a secondary app and you got to use this and that and go about it this way and that way. We tried Patreon for a while and it was just like this is too much to maintain.
I've pre-tried it. Like I'm on their list, and but you can't. Well, you have to charge an American. Well, for here too, but here you can go lower because I'm thinking of like 4 American is roughly 5 Canadian, and I think I might be able to get some. Well, we'll see.
Well, it's really hard for the Europeans as well because like I mean the pound and the euro dollar is even less than the Canadian dollar. So you know, but you know, first world problems, right?
Mm.
But no, it's like you know our store is in Canadian, and it's funny when an American doesn't look at that, doesn't realize that's in Canadian dollars, and they're like, "Oh my God, $800 for that." Yeah, but that's Canadian dollars. You're not paying that much because you're American, and the you know we're using Square, which is worldwide, so Square doesn't give a damn which currency you use. So just let it translate to your currency and everything's fine. Whereas poor Canadians, we get on Amazon.com because we see something there that we don't see on .ca, and we completely forget we're being charged in American. And then you cash out, and then PayPal says, okay, so this many dollars Canadian is gone. You're like, what? What? That's not how much that cost. And then you're like, oh, right, crap. And you got to rethink it and decide whether or not it's worth canceling. And you made all that work and time happen in order to order that one thing, and your brain goes pop. It's fun being, the cousins to the north, because so much of Canada is reliant
Yep.
upon the U.S. in so many ways.
They're right there, so it's understandable that there's going to be that close a relationship. And we're more alike than we're not.
Yes, very much so. This is very, very
Though
true.
that the whole
Yeah, I haven't
their
broadcasted
politics
yet.
are a little crazier right now than
There's
ours.
nothing memory. Yeah, well, yeah, ours is just eccentric.
Well, there's a
I remember when Trump.
couple.
I remember when Trump first got in, and it was every single broadcast that there was at least a couple people of, what's your opinion on Trump, and who do you prefer, Trudeau or Trump, and I'm like, first of all, I don't talk politics on my broadcast. I don't see a point. When it comes to saving monarchs, okay, there's some politics involved, but I'm not going to do this Canada versus the U.S. thing. And when they persist, I'm like, look, I'll say one thing about Trudeau, and they're like, yeah, yeah, and you can almost see them on the other side of their camera, like chomping at the bit and drooling, for me to say something stupid. And I'm like, Trudeau's a geek. He's better looking, and he wore Chewbacca socks to his inauguration. So that's all I have to say. It's like, and then there was always this big gap of nothing. And then the person would come back on and go, what? And I'm like, exactly. You're American, aren't you? When I say I'm not going to talk politics and you insist I do, that's as close as I get. We have a geek for our prime minister. He could be out of office tomorrow and I'll still like the guy. Doesn't mean I'll always vote for the guy. Doesn't mean I did vote for the guy. It just simply means he's a geek. He's a powerful geek. And he wore Chewbacca socks. Come on. His whole family dressed up as characters from Star Wars. Come on. He's a freaking cosplayer. Whereas Trump is cosplayed, Trudeau
Mm.
cosplays. So I have no problems with this. And it was so amazing when that all first came into play, and just everyone was trying to get us to say something, and it's like, no. Oh, but we're so close. Yes, we are, but I don't talk politics. But you should. I don't. It was just like the number of people I blocked back then, just overwhelming. I'm still recovering from the last administration. Yeah, Molly B, I'm trying to remember exactly where you are.
Well, she does like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think she is in Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh is a beautiful city, and I think when she came in, it was hello from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is a beautiful city. I've been there a number of times. God, I remember, what was it, 94 was the Pittsburgh costume gone? And it was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's Pittsburgh. Okay. I'm back on track. Yay. Look, I'm paying attention. Once I get all the stones into this crown, I'm going to have to go because the appetite's kicking in. And my brother apparently has a turkey dinner for me because I don't cook. And he moved back from Korea a few years ago, and Martin and I just moved back from BC a little while ago. So um, apparently he's attempting Thanksgiving. And if someone's
Cool.
going to feed me, I'm more than happy to come and be eating their food. Right? Starving artists. We can relate, right?
Yep.
Someone gives you free food, you go. Next
I'll
time,
draw for
come
food.
visit our barbecue.
We'll draw for food. We'll write poetry for food.
Can you guys? Uh-oh. My connection went down. Oh, there it is. It's back. I hate it when it does that. Can you guys still hear me and everything?
Yep.
Okay, good. But yeah, if anyone wants to get a hold of me on PM, I'm regularly on Facebook and Instagram, so those are the best ways to do it. And those are the two I focus on the most. I'm still trying to figure out this whole TikTok thing. So I'm not mentally there yet. But I think I may have encouraged an artist TikToker to come over to Hats because she'll get much more loving over here than she does over there. And so yeah, if you find Car Hunger on either of those. Now I'm still learning this whole Pages Suite thing, whatever that Facebook has got going. Because I'm used to just going into my regular profile and just saying, okay, I'm going to look at my pages now. And now they want you to, what is it, Business Suite or something like that?
Why did Facebook ban you, Molly B?
Well, they didn't. Oh, Molly got Facebook banned?
Facebook banned me
Look
on
at the
Instagram,
Kim's
though, she
glass
said.
strips in mine. They look like white cauchons. Oh, nice. What do you mean Facebook banned you? Okay, so you're banned from Instagram, not Facebook.
Well, Facebook owns Instagram, so.
Yes, but they can ban her on one app and not the other. Because they're two slightly different sets of regulations. They're similar, but they haven't updated a lot of the rules and regulations for Instagram. It's still a lot like it was before. They haven't really completely reformatted it yet. The only things that are being affected are the things like messaging and stuff like that, and certain things that the two apps share have to be converted to Facebook rules, but the other stuff isn't. I posted a photo of a vulva bowl. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sorry.
We're not that kind of broadcast.
Yeah, we're not that kind of broadcast, but that's okay. As long as we don't tell the Munchkins what it actually is, that everything's fine.
Just
It's
say
a
that it's
vulva. It
a
looks like
well,
it
she
looks like a.
misspelled Volvo. It's a
That's
Volvo
right.
bowl.
That's right. It looks like a car.
Beep beep.
Yeah, you must be under certain classifications in order to do certain things. So you have to change. Like they won't let me connect my online store to our fan page because we've got our fan page up as a public figure, not as a market or a. So we put in an appeal to either change our status because we've been that status for so long, or allow us to connect to our store. So they've had to do a lot of changes when they bought Instagram, and yeah, they've disconnected our store from our Facebook fan page because those classifications no
Oh,
longer exist.
she changed it. It's now a naughty bowl.
Ah,
It was abstract, though.
nice.
Apparently not abstract enough for someone.
No, no, exactly.
Ah!
Well, because the computer sees the report first, not a human being. Human being might get to it one day. The more followers you have, the more likely a human being will get to it. Because you're important to them all of a sudden.
Well, I should be safe then I'll be safe forever on YouTube.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Well, no, because I have one subscriber.
Oh, jeez.
No, seriously,
So,
my latest YouTube channel, yeah, one. I have three, and
so
between them I
you're
have what, four? Four, and some of them are the same person.
so you're not safe. You'll never get a human being to see what you to check in on it. Which means if you
Well,
get banned, you stay banned for a long time.
yeah,
The
but
computer will
I
decide.
don't put hardly anything on it, so
See, watch now. Charles is going to go out and make enemies just to see if it works.
oh, I
Yeah, I've
no, if
lost
people
track
don't
of my
like me,
YouTubers. But
they just don't like me.
ah,
It
I
happens
like you.
organically. I know.
I see. I know.
Artoberist. It's also my Instagram, and it may or may not
Oh,
be Gmail account.
friends only. There you go. Yeah, I don't even remember when I log in. If I ever get logged out on most of these apps, I have no idea. I have
Well,
no idea. And we
I
had to
use
change.
password safe.
Yeah, we had to change a whole bunch of our passwords after that on last shutdown. Facebook and Instagram. Oh, I like these
Cool beans, Molly. I'm checking in half an hour.
stuff.
You've got half an hour.
Is there is there a prize if she's not lying?
Well, yes, sure. I'll draw her name again. I'll draw her name. I'll draw art around her name.
Yeah, we have to decide what we still haven't decided what December story time for us is going to be. So we gotta. I guess it'll be Christmas, but which cosplay we gotta decide. So
Ho ho
that's
ho!
gonna be a challenge. I
Ho ho
am not
ho!
buying a Santa suit or making a Santa suit just for. I am just not doing that. I did Santa's helper once and I regretted it. I seriously regretted it. All the truth about Santa Clauses came out, and just like it was not a happy place. It was just not a happy place.
Yeah, but I'm thinking you'll be more motivated because you'll be like in your head that you have to must find his account and become a subscriber because
No.
your sober mind is like, what? Why do I want to follow this guy in Montreal? Though you've been very supportive, so
Yeah, it's the attempt that counts, right? But yeah, I'm not sure what cosplay do we have that would. I was almost thinking of going back to Lord of the Rings because of the whole elf thing, but we did that first, so we should kind of go through our cosplays before going back to the other ones. Maybe I don't know. I'll probably ask people, who are our regular sponsors, what they want. Because really, you guys are awesome. It's a couple extra bucks a month that really make us shine. And I've got great supporters like Don Scobie, the Bagpiper Don. I
mm.
talked him into Haps, but I was really missing him because he used to come up to BC all the time and play for all our parades and stuff, and we'd meet up with him when we were down there for Emerald City Comic Con, and he's just one awesome guy. Watch, if I talk about him enough, he'll appear.
Well, you have to say it like Don, Don, Don. Isn't that how it works with the Candyman?
Yes, that's right.
Or is Beetlejuice 3 times?
Beetlejuice is 3 times. Yeah.
So you got to
Don
say,
Scobie.
Don,
Don
Don,
Scobie.
Don.
Don Scobie. Don Scobie. Don Scobie. Don Scobie. That
Or,
wouldn't work. Damn it, Don! Don't
you
make me
just
into a liar.
go at. Oh, sign in to
Oh.
comment and award. I'm not signed in. What? Oh well.
What? How are
You
you
just
not
add
signed in?
me.
I'm seeing you.
I don't know.
Did I mention I'm high on Benadryl? Yes, you did. Nightmare Before Christmas? No. Nightmare Before Christmas. Did they chant? Did they chant for Jack too? No. Jack
Oh wow.
goes to find Santa Claus because he's confused.
Apparently, I logged myself out.
How? We're watching you.
I know. Well, yeah, but the desktop and the pocket computer are on two different.
Realities.
Well, they're just two different. They're not. They're two different entities. Well, they're just two different. They're not.
Oh, geez, you went and did it again, didn't you?
I'll have to go to your.
If it's too difficult. Did Molly Toff ever come over to Periscope? Because she was the other BC person that was broadcasting a lot on Periscope. She was the other person who was broadcasting a lot in BC on Periscope. And did she ever come over to Haps? Her dog was always so adorable. She had the most cutest dog.
If I start to grumble really loud, it's because my computer is telling me to step off and get bent. See, that tech frustration really, it doesn't take much for tech to. And then if I'm dealing with a hand waiver, oh, that makes it even worse.
And with tech, every once in a while, it does beat me, and I just start crying.
Oh, I don't cry, I swear.
I don't cry
I
over
drop
much.
the F-bombs.
Well, for me, I tend not to have much tech problems until it's old.
Well,
And then
this computer
I can
is from
deal with it.
2013.
Nice. What have you got?
It's just, well, it's not an apple. I don't, apples are for eating.
Then you don't want to see my place.
It's an HP. The tower and the monitor's an Acer.
Acer's not bad as a monitor. It's actually pretty half decent.
And it's a longer one, so I can actually chat and write at the same time.
Yeah, this time I went and invested in a laptop instead of a desktop and hooking it up to the screen. So I wind up with two screens basically. So things like Photoshop, I will put all the settings on the smaller screen and the actual project on the larger one. And it creates a situation where I can have a portable machine again and takes up very little space. Which right now is vital it's weird going from a whole house to something half the size.
Mm.
All right. So I am getting there with the stones. If anyone has any questions or thoughts about anything, now is the time to do it. Charles, send me a link to your YouTube. Too many Charles PGs on there. I never broadcast on Periscope. I found it had too many vicious trolls. It did. I am hoping it's not a matter of time because in the very beginning it wasn't. There really wasn't trolls because not very many people knew how to use these apps back then. Um, but it's all in how it's handled and what internet rules and regulations you're operating under. I'm not 100%. I'm slowly figuring out what HAPS's stipulations are when it comes on an international level.
Here we go. Copy.
Because you can tell by the way they handle any problems, what their registration is, basically. But I think most of it went wrong with Periscope when Twitter bought them, quite frankly. I had fun with the trolls. I kept trolling the trolls. I would get to a point where it's like, okay, now it's too much. And I found some of them on here, and I'm happy to see people taking care of it. But, things like a hamster pretending to die is not really healthy either. I mean, that was too much for me. So, we're going to get issues here, and HAPS can only do so much within international regulations because it is the internet.
Hey Molly, if I have to, I will send you a link, but what you are looking for, if you're looking for me, whenever you should be looking for me on YouTube, Artoberist. That's what it is.
You want to type that out for her to make it easier?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, right, you're still trying to get in.
Well, no, I'm in. I was just gonna post a link to my to the latest stream that's on YouTube because I do multicast to YouTube, and then it's just as easy. Should be just as easy for her to go, type in Artoberus and she'll see me because she'll, recognize my face.
No, but how do you spell Octoberist, right? If you type that out for everyone else, they'll find you too.
Yeah. Oh no,
Maybe
no,
we can
I'm
get
gonna
more.
do that.
Yeah, maybe we can get more than 4. Then we'll pester you. We'll hit all the thumbs down. Just
Hey, you want to pester me? Pester.
nice.
Don't call me Uncle Fester.
Oh, I grew up without uncles. I'm fine with that.
Bum, bum, bum.
Have says a few trolls to take care of them quickly. Yeah, within the rules and regulations, like I said, when a hamster goes and pretends to be dead and tries to get people to, take people down because they don't like them and capitalizing on other people's, innocence. I won't say gullibility because some people just don't have enough experience in life. But yeah, that was too much, and they can't do a thing about it because it doesn't go against internet law.
So I'm down to 15%. You were talking about. So I can either switch to my laptop, or you're gonna be like, what
Well,
are you? What is your body saying?
I only
Woman, you're gonna eat in the next 10 minutes, or?
Well, yep, I only have 2 stones left, and then it's a half-hour drive to my brother's. So I'm on for another 5-10 minutes, however long it takes, and then I'm
Okay.
going to go through a quick breakdown of the whole remember me thing, and then I will let everyone go their own joyous ways. So
Oops.
if you wanted to save your battery and pop yourself out,
Oh no, it's because no, I'll just go. I'll be able to stay on with this device, I think, and if not, I'll miss the last. I'll pop out just before the end of your broadcast. Is no, it's no
cool.
point in switching over to the Lappy.
Lappy. Sounds like you're talking about a dog or a cat. Lappy, my kitty cat. Loves my Lappy.
Well, actually, I call him Lappity.
Nice. Yeah, our computer is named Merlin because he's full of
Ah,
magic. And all of our phones are named after dragons. And, well, the two phones in the car are named after dragons.
death is not something you should use to get attention. Some people, well, people have faked having cancer to,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
get
I've
money.
seen that too. And the worst thing about it is an app like this has to prove it, you know? And then they have to decide whether or not it falls within international law. It's not easy running these apps. So when people get really pissy at people, I'm just like, what? You have an app you wouldn't have if if they didn't exist. All right. Come on, Stone. Settle. Yeah. Which camera I got? What I got that camera going. So yeah, there's just the two strips of stones that still have to go in, but that's okay. I can do it later because those should be done when the back is closed up. All right.
But just for Molly, because Molly's awesome. I will.
Molly is awesome. Hmm.
There, I put it on my page too, Molly. So low or high, you can stop on by. Because if you're high, then what's the opposite of high? Low.
It's that Benadryl, that cheap high. There we go. There's the three of them. Death is not something you use to get attention. Oh yeah, sorry. You already read that. What are the crowns made of? It is a smooth cast. I think it's a 320 I used this time. Smooth on products. We've now switched over to using everything on Smooth on products. There was a time where you really couldn't get much. Like Smooth on, it only had a select few things of product and was immeasurably expensive. It's not cheap product, but it's good product. And it's nowhere near as expensive as it was when the stuff first came out. So all of our molding materials are from Smooth On. So this is the 320. It's not as flexible as I'd like, but because of the rising costs of plastics and resins, thank you, gasoline shortage, oil shortage, because all these are, of course, oil based. Um, I I'm not going to get the softer version and experiment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more 320 because I ran out, and create another panel in the back to make this more round, um, and stick to the product I know instead of experimenting with new product. We have a really soft kind of viable kind of rubber that we used for a mermaid crown we made for someone, and that stuff is really soft. But for this many points, it'll just flop everywhere, and I don't want to do that to the customer. So yeah, it's I think it's a 320. It was either 320 or 321. But yeah, we use all Smooth On products now. The mold should still be here. Is the mold still here? Yeah. See, here's the. Yeah, it's the right one. So here's the mold, and this is a smooth on product as well. And again, you can only get so many castings out of it. Let me switch back to the other camera because it'll be easier to show you. But there's the mold. So Martin made the mold on air when he was here alone, and I've been using the mold to make the positives. And see, this was these are in the other room right now, but that's
Hey, you're not that kind of
mold.
broadcast.
No, we're not. Try to make it flexible and all. Let me take look at this more. Wow. Yay, subscriptions. But there's it's a slightly different color. They're both equally the pink stuff is much more flexible, but we had the blue stuff left over from another project. We ran out of the pink stuff. We prefer using the pink stuff. This stuff lasts longer than the blue stuff, but that's okay. At any time, we can always make fresh molds if they wind up being big sellers. Because of course, every time you pour into it, it deteriorates it a little bit. But you can see the pink is much more flexible. And this was the other material that this is not the mermaid crown. I poured a test first, but this is like water resistant and very different than the 320. But that worked out
You
really
don't
well.
normally think of fresh and mold at the same time.
I know. But I'm discovering the powders. We switched to using powders instead of painting afterwards because it makes some more flexible stuff. I'm sorry, my brain is going dirty again. It makes some more flexible stuff easier to color because paints will only go cracky crack, and I don't like cracky crack.
Do you need to go in the corner again for a minute?
At this rate, I'm never going to get free from the corner.
There is no escaping the corner. The corner comes for you.
That's it. I'm going to sit in the corner and cry. I'll use that emoji or whatever the award is with the tears. I'll make it a sad tear award for myself. Can you award yourself? I wish we could. I wish we could just award ourselves. Cash it in.
Well, if you have a second account.
Yeah, I did, and
like
then I gave up. It was too much to keep track of.
Well, I made a second account for my living letter because all writers have one, but I can't even do a broadcast for him because I don't have a webcam at the moment, so
right.
And I can't put him on my any of my other devices, so he only gets the small money.
Yeah, silicone molds are good. We find they don't last as long as the smooth on products. Technically, that is a silicone mold, but it's not. You may want to look them up. We highly recommend the products. They also have food grade mold materials. They have, but they are. Let me take off the little private thing. It's smooth dash on. I think they're out of England or Poland or somewhere over there, and they assign companies like representatives. Only one person's allowed to sell per major city type thing. So once you find it, you've got a dedicated base, which has worked nice because you know who to call all the time and deal with, and they have to work within Smooth On's regulations on pricing and everything. But the drawback, of course, is if they're out of one.
I know who you call.
Oh,
sorry.
Yes.
Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call?
There it is. Ghostbusters. Oh God, now it's stuck in my head. But yeah, they always have like these chain wheels with samples, so you walk into the store, whoever their official distributor is, and you can sit there and go, not that, not that. This is too soft. This is too hard. This is too, and have right up close contact with the product before buying it, for investing in. So, and they do online courses too, which is nice. So I'm really happy with Smooth On. They've grown so much since we started using them years ago. It used to be only production used them, but now almost anyone does. So You will look them up. Cool. So I'm going to go. First, I'm going to kick Charles out.
Yep.
I'm going to put
Well,
him
I'm
in the
down to
corner.
6% anyway, so.
Wow. Okay. Charles, say goodbye however you want to say goodbye. Politely ish, kind of.
Bye!
Later,
Bye,
Charles. Thank you for
kids! See you
joining
next
me.
week!
Oh, God. Sigh. Later.
Later.
Yeah. Why is it not disconnecting? There it goes. There it goes. All right. Just a reminder, I am looking for all the people who are already putting money into the Remember Me to find out if you guys mind if we move it to November 1st. I will need to make that decision really, really soon because I will have to let Fan Expo know because they may not be able to put our panels on the Friday and Saturday. They have a lot of COVID regulation changes that they're dealing with that may affect the schedule. So they're not going to confirm until a few days before. And I don't want to screw you guys over, and I don't want to turn down the first convention in 3 years. So please, 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 if you're on that list of people who are taking part in the Remember Me, please, I need a majority of you to say yay or nay. So far, I've gotten a few that say yay. Also, if you are taking part, I need your stories for the people who you are remembering for the Day of the Dead. And Car Hunger, CARRHUNGER, at Car Hunger, CARRHUNGER .com. Or tell me you're going to read it yourself on air. We're kind of hoping some people will come on air in order to have a proper collaboration. And if you've got something Day of the Dead to wear, that would be great, especially if we can do it on November 1st because it'll be appropriate. Or if you're into doing makeup and stuff, Bobby, if you're out there, do you want to take part? And we'll do that. If we move it to November 1st, it'll be much better in the sense that we can actually do it on the Day of the Dead. So do let us know. You can also contact us through Facebook, again, Car Hunger, CARRHUNGER, and Instagram, Car Hunger, CARRHUNGER. They are the two I keep track of the most. So I'm on there a lot more than I am any of our other social medias. Remember, respect yourself more than anyone else can. Everything will be just fine. Self-respect, self-love. Very important. I am going to run the Monarch promo video at the end of this, but keep in mind the date that it says we're doing this on may change. All right, folks. Take care of yourself. I will come back later tonight or sometime tomorrow to check on the awards given during this broadcast and add you people to that post where I talk about how much money you're on and how much more to get included. Now, the draw, the actual draw, is always a different story. It's always anyone who put in any awards. So that list will be right there the day we do the broadcast. All right. So everyone, behave yourself. Or if you're not going to behave yourself, don't do any major damage. Or if you can't recover from it, it's really not worth it. Okay. Later, folks.
Keep the time.
You had a great time in Montreal. Montreal was all hardwood floors, right? Go on, camera. Okay.
How much styrofoam?
No. Way too much styrofoam. The birds are confused. It's like, what's this city doing here?
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I'll hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar.